Okay, today is Friday, July 24th, 2015, and we're looking at the water vapor loop for the Northeast Pacific, and there's some interesting things going on today. Uh, First of all, Tropical Storm Felicia has been destroyed, and we can see the last of what's happening there. They're blowing this thing apart, and we see some high velocity water vapor shooting out of the southern side of that storm right there where the pen is. Okay, next, there's a high pressure installed here to keep this weather down here from joining up with Felicia, which has been isolated, and they're hitting that, as you can see. We'll take a close-up look at that. Let's go take a look at that right now. Felicia's been completely isolated, just like they did with Dolores, and then they can work on it fairly effectively. They want to keep the moisture down here, these thunderstorms, from being fed, or rather feeding this storm, so they isolate it and then they can kill it off much easier. Looking at this same thing in the water vapor mode, we can see better what's happening here. This was just blasted about probably 3 or 4 hours ago, and you can see what's happening here. All that water vapor is getting blasted from the high pressure that's being forced down on top of that. And meantime, let's go back to the big map again. There is a very powerful high pressure over Texas, which is causing all this clockwise rotation of these thunderstorms. And that, coupled with this, we have high pressure installed over California. Let's look at that right here. Very strong high pressure here, which is causing a strong flow to the east. Along with this clockwise rotation here, we have a transmitter that's hitting this area right here, and that will move all this thunderstorm activity out to the east, and California won't get any rain. And that's basically the mission. They want to keep the rain out of California, and that's what's happening. Meantime, let's look over here. We have a lot of moisture flow out of the Bering Sea area right here, and some of it is turning left and some is turning right because they've got a transmitter right here that is causing a blockade, a high pressure blockade. And the reason they're doing this here is because there's a low pressure right here that's spinning up, and this is being isolated. We can see the transmitters are starting to do that right now. They're going to isolate this storm, just like they did over here with Felicia, and they're going to prevent any moisture flow from feeding into this system so that it won't spin into something gigantic that can't be controlled. Okay, so they've got high pressure here. This is going clockwise, and this flow here is being prevented from moving in and feeding this low pressure here. So this is all well coordinated, and there's multiple transmitters being pointed at various locations. Now, today in Los Angeles, the barometric pressure has risen for the third day in a row. Today was 30.06. Yesterday was 30.03 inches, and the day before, Wednesday, was 29.98 inches. So we've had a trend where the pressure is being risen, and that is because of all this high pressure being applied right here. And this always happens when we have rain from the monsoonal flow up from Mexico, and or if we have a tropical storm moving to the north. Without fail, it's just a given that they install high pressure, and we see that happen every time, every single time. And so because of the fact that high pressure flows to low pressure, we're seeing this powerful onshore flow here. This flow can't go anywhere because they've got a transmitter here that is keeping this weather to the north, and we have this situation here with the transmitter here spinning this all clockwise. And so the air has nowhere to go. This high pressure airflow has nowhere to go but through this venturi that they've set up here, this channel. And that's why we see this powerful flow taking this all this thunderstorm and weather with it. And California again is gypped out of some rain. So that's basically it in a nutshell, folks. That's it. We can go take a look at some of this in a close-up. A lot of thunderstorms here along in Mexico, which should be moving up into Arizona and California. There's the visible light map. Let's go look at this. And this is the rainbow loop for the southwest. We've got California, Arizona, and New Mexico. And now this thunderstorm here is being blown apart right there. Actually, this one right here, right there. You can see a shock wave there, pretty good. It's being blown apart. Let's go look at this in the. This is better in the water vapor mode. We can see right there that that's being hit. Now this flow here, they're carefully working this flow because here comes Felicia. Now they've got this thing isolated. You can see a dry air patch right here. Now if this moves in over Felicia, Felicia will rebuild and become a tropical storm once again. So they've got a lot of things going on, and they've got computers deciding how these satellites are going to point those transmitters. I'm pretty well convinced of that. There's a lot going on with the weather out in the Pacific in the summertime these days, and so you can see that there's multiple points here that they're hitting here, 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 and down here. So that this is quite an amazing sight. I've been looking at this for about 3 years now. It's amazing. Our weather is not natural any longer. It's being manipulated, and they can direct the rain where they want. So that's what's happening. Now this is as good as evidence as you'll ever get for the destruction of a storm right there. Let's look at this here in the water vapor mode. Look at this. That's not natural. It looks like a bomb went off in the center of this storm, and this is just shooting off at a high velocity. Okay, that's pretty much it. Take a look at the National Hurricane Center for today. Felicia is now a post-tropical storm, post-tropical cyclone, 30-mile-per-hour winds with a core pressure of 1,008 millibar. Okay, so that's pretty much it. So we'll go ahead and do another one of these tomorrow. We'll keep an eye on things, and if anything comes up, we'll make a second video. Okay, so in the meantime, I'll just leave it right there. We'll get to watch that storm Felicia get attacked. Okay, so that's it.